This is Professor Simon at Baton Rouge Community College, and this week I do have a preview video for Canvas modules for weeks 5 through 7. If you look at modules right now, you do have with week 5 lecture schedule coming up, Ancient Egypt, which is a continuation of Ancient Egypt from I think it was week 3 and 4, where I went into the background of Ancient Egypt, the Old Kingdom. And then starting on Monday, September 9th, I do have some lectures on the Middle and New Kingdoms of Ancient Egypt, which those will be on the first exam coming up. You see an announcement I've got right here about that in the PowerPoints that go with that. These are the lectures, of course, right here, either that one or the combined version, which does have a review with it as well. So I do kind of go into like the New Kingdom, but I kind of briefly talk about the Middle Kingdom first. I don't really go much into that, but primarily I talk about the 18th dynasty, which is the most famous that you have in the New Kingdom. So this is all going to be part of a review I'll have later down here. Also, of course, in week 5, starting on Monday, September 9th. So, yeah, there is a review I made for you already, which kind of there's a Canvas announcement about it. So do check those out. There are review questions that you do need to work on and answer, which will be for points. I think it's like 100 points it's worth that you got to complete and turn in. I think there's like a PowerPoint version, a Word version I have right here. And then that's the actual recorded video right here for that. If you have any comments, questions about discussions, of course, don't forget right here for parts 1 and 2 and part 3 on the Egypt lectures, and of course the review also as well. So that is the announcement also about the first exam quiz, which will be on Ancient Egypt, which that'll be due sometime later at the end of September. You see right there. And don't forget, like I said, you do have to turn in the study guide questions for the Ancient Egypt questions in that review. If you keep going down into week 6, like starting on Monday, September 16th, I will have some lectures on ancient India, which will be assessed in those lectures, part 1 and 2, which go into the background of ancient India, do kind of go into some of the early civilizations like the Indus Valley civilization, the rise of the Aryan culture in India too, religion. It'll go into a lot of religion, Hinduism, Buddhism, and I kind of go all the way up to like around the time of the Maurya and Gupta empires. So should be a part 1 lecture and a part 2, and then they do have a combined lecture too also as well right there. So if you have any comments, questions about that particular series of lectures for that assignment, of course, it's down here for that Canvas quiz. You can go right there. So that'll be later, more into like mid-September, Canvas quiz number 4 on the ancient India lectures. And then that assignment will be due later, more into the end of September, maybe a little further back. We'll see, maybe closer to October due as well. And also one more assessment for later we'll have, which will be in week 7, starting on Monday, September 23rd. I'll have some lectures on ancient China, parts 1 and 2, which go into the background of China. I kind of go into some of the early dynasties of China that they have, like the so-called Shang dynasty. I think I talk about the Zhou. Kind of go up through the famous Qin dynasty or Qin dynasty, which started Imperial China. We'll talk about the Great Wall of China being built. I do go into the Han dynasty, and then I kind of go all the way up to like around the time of the Tang dynasty as well. So these lectures will be like in a part 1 and 2 lecture series I'll have which go up to like I do talk about the philosophies of China, like Confucianism, I think is a major thing to kind of go into as well. There's also a combined version of that lecture you can also look at too, also. So those are the discussion questions for also ancient China. And then with the China lectures, those will not be on like a actual separate quiz. I'm probably going to assess those onto the second exam, and you won't see those till later. But I might have some other assessment during this period. I haven't really planned it yet, but it's likely for week 7 there might be some other assessment that I'll probably do, either for points or maybe even for bonus points. That can't decide really exactly what that'll be, but this is kind of a kind of a preview video of what's coming up in Canvas modules for weeks 5 through 7. So anyway, don't forget, by the way, students, um, about other assessments that are out there. I think the ones that y'all should be working on right now is Canvas quiz number 3, which is on the Phoenicians and Israelites. I know that's got to be wrapped up, and then um, moving on to ancient Egypt will be the next thing, of course, which will be assessed, like I said, on that first exam for the semester. Also, don't forget about book reports. Book reports. Um, that's something that y'all need to turn in at the end of the semester. So, make sure you start deciding on which book title you're going to read for the semester. That's something y'all should be pretty much deciding on after about, 3 to 5 weeks, into the semester. That's something you should already have and start working on. Remember, you only have to read about 50 pages into it minimum, but that's some kind of project y'all need to, of course, start working on. And if anybody's still interested in those bonus projects too, of course, let me know about that. So I'll see y'all the rest of the semester, but hope everybody's having a great semester at BRCC, of course, right now. So y'all take care, and I'll see you later.